What's up, y'all? It's your boy Richie Skye, Skye Squad. Y'all know what's up. We are back in the building. Yes, back with another episode. We are recapping, Recapping the episode from last night's Real Housewives of Potomac Season 5, Episode 3, okay? And we got some news for you guys as well. We're going to be chatting about why that hot mic moment got inserted and what it means. Monique is revealing the truth about that. So we're going to get into that. And then we're going to break down the episode like we always do. Listen, if you guys can hear me in that good chatterization, let a brother know. Let a brother know that you can hear him and see him clearly. And also let me know where you guys are watching from in that good chat. Y'all know I like to know where y'all watching from. I like to know what y'all doing while y'all watching the broadcast as well. Listen. For those of you guys who may be new to the channel, make sure you guys subscribe to this channel. Hit that notification bell button down below. You guys can also follow me on Facebook as well at DJ Richie Skye, for those of you guys who prefer Facebook over YouTube. And you guys can also join the texting community at 1-202-918-3386. Okay, let's see who we got in the chatterization today. We got Boston, Atlanta, Georgia, Decatur, Georgia, Key West, Minnesota, okay? Metro, Detroit, Brooklyn in the house. I see all my good people here. I see y'all Chi-Town, Vancouver. Okay, I see some people working from home. Okay, working from home and tuning in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Hey, Sweet Butterfly says I always go live when she got a Zoom meeting. My bad, boo. My bad. Tell them to reschedule those Zoom meetings after your lunch break is over and all that good stuff. Let's go ahead and stage dive into the news. First things first, I want to let you guys know that tonight, All About the Tea is hosting a Real Housewives of Potomac virtual town hall meeting. There's a state of emergency up in this building, okay? So join us tonight, at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on YouTube, with a panel of experts breaking down all the drama surrounding the plot to destroy Monique Samuels' marriage and answer all of your burning questions. We're going to be talking about it all tonight, okay? So that's 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and that's 9 p.m. Eastern Time. We got quite a crew ready to break it all down. This is a state of emergency. So make sure you guys are following or subscribe to All About the Tea on that good Instagram, as well as YouTube, okay? So there is that. First things first, right off the bat. Now, I'm going to stage dive into the episode, and during this period of time, we're going to actually get into that hot mic moment and reveal exactly what Monique had to say about it. But first things first, we're going to actually get into, we're going to get into all of my notes about the episode first things first. So let's go ahead and let's stage dive on into that, okay? Because there's a lot to cover from last night's episode. And actually, you know what? In the chatterization, guys, let me know if you happen to catch last night's episode during the broadcast. Let me know in the chatterization if you caught, last night's episode during the broadcast. And just so you guys also are aware, those Florida primary elections will be occurring tomorrow. I already mailed in my vote weeks ago, okay? So just so y'all know, let's get this thing popping. We got some changes to make in our government, okay? So let's go ahead again, like I said, stage dive into everything that we're gonna discuss with this upcoming episode. Well, this episode pass right here, okay? So we begin that episode, and the ladies are still back at it, okay? The ladies are still going at it with that good Candiace Dillard Bassett at the dinner for Ashley's come out of the house party because I done just had a baby, okay? Now, the ladies are reiterating some of the things that Candiace Dillard has stated in the past about Ashley Darby, and this is why they feel like she needs to apologize for the way she came at Ashley as Ashley was giving birth, calling her all types of hoes and concubines and bed wenches and roaches and all those sorts of things. Y'all remember that. And so the ladies are adamant that Candiace owes Ashley Darby the apology of all apologies, okay? Now, let me first let it be said that you cannot make someone apologize, okay? Let's go ahead and start there. You cannot make someone apologize. I'm going to go ahead and admit to that. So I understand where Karen was coming from with that. But Candiace says, I'm not going to engage you when you have an audience, okay? And Ashley rightly states to her, you have the same audience, girl. We're all sitting in the same place, okay? Here is, for me, what I feel about this situation. And I want you guys in the chatterization to let me know how you feel about this, okay? Here is my thought. Public disrespect deserves a public apology, okay? Now, I got to look y'all in the eyes for this one. Public disrespect deserves a public apology, okay? Let me know in the chatterization how you guys feel about that. Let me know in the good chatterization. Give me a yes if you agree, or give me a no if you disagree. And the reason why I say that, because this is really important here, and I think this is the point that the ladies are trying to provide for Candiace, and I don't think that she's actually getting it, is that you have disrespected Ashley so publicly and so heinously that it needs to be a public apology that happens in the group setting, okay? Now, regardless, it's going to be public however it happens, because, you know, it's a show, so we all going to see it. But that, I think, is where the ladies are coming from, and it's not necessarily being verbally stated by any of the ladies. So I do feel like for us on this channel, that's my take on it, is that public disrespect deserves a public apology. Don't apologize in private for the things that you said and did so publicly, okay? And then my other question is this. In general, what would it have hurt to just say, I'm sorry right then and there, if you are meaning to have an apology conversation within the context of the season in general? If you already know that you're going to apologize, what would be the harm in humbling yourself to apologize at that very moment? And so what we get from that is Robin and Candiace going at it like on 10, okay? Candiace basically tells Robin to STFU, okay? To shut the F up, okay? And she says it several times. Now, the problem that I had with this was that, to me, in my notes, I have typical Candiace, right? In her confessional, she says that these dinners always turn into a mess, but she says this is a peaceful Candiace. 2 seconds later, the camera shows her telling Robin to STFU, shut the F up. So it's just like, that's a place that we didn't even need to go to, but it may also just sort of relay the lack of respect that she has for Robin in general, okay? So Robin tries to remind her of all the things that she's done, including throwing a butter knife at that good Ashley Darby, okay? So Robin reminds her of all that. So then we get into Monique versus Candiace round 2, okay? So they have a tense little moment, okay? Gizelle then brings up Sheree's and asks that good Candiace how close she is to Sheree's. At this point, Monique chooses to tell her why she was upset about this situation. She's upset with Candiace because she invited Sheree's to her anniversary party and did not give Monique the heads up. Now, from my understanding of the way that the timeline goes, from what we follow it correctly, Monique and Candiace had a conversation that we did not get to see the full conversation of. We only got it in flashback. And I'm not quite sure why, but apparently at that dinner or at that conversation, they decided that they were going to have some sort of agreement where they protect each other or they give each other a heads up as to things that are occurring. Now, let's also keep in mind that we know, okay, from both Candiace, Monique, and Karen, that at this point in time, there has been a plot to expose things about Monique's family that they know are not true, okay? And Gizelle has already, in her confessionals, brought out planted the seeds for that already, okay? So there's a lot that's going on. So we know as the audience, even as we're watching this, that there was already a plot. So now Monique and Candiace are saying, okay, let's be on the same page. So Monique is upset that Candiace then kind of seemingly reneged on that and didn't give her the heads up that Sheree, who is spreading the lies and gossip, which is known by Candiace, still invited Sheree without telling Monique. Okay, so I know that might be a little bit confusing, but that's where we are with it. Okay, so then Candiace immediately offers an apology, which I thought was really big of her, because I was like, okay, that's a nice moment that she's having right now. She's showing some humility, that this is all good, right? So she still maintains that she was unaware that there was still a lingering issue between Sheree and Monique. Okay, now I don't know about you guys, but is this situation not a little bit reminiscent of Nene and Cynthia, with Kenya getting an invite to Cynthia's event? Nene was arguing that she just wanted a heads up, okay, to know that somebody was coming that she has beef with. I ain't gonna lie to y'all, I'm that same way. And y'all, answer me this question in the chatterization. When somebody invites you someplace, okay, and you don't know who's gonna be there, do you ever ask who all gonna be there before you make a decision to go? I do that all the time. Who all gonna be there? Who all is gonna be there? Because that's gonna determine my attitude when I get there, if I'm gonna be on guard when I get there, if I'm gonna even show up at all. Thank you for this super chat, Ronald Smith. I do. I see some of y'all do too. LaShawna says, I ask every time. Okay. I mean, that's normal. So why would I not want, why does it seem like such a big shock to people that both Nene or Monique want to know, hey, somebody's going to be here that you're not really cool with right now. So I just want you to know, not that I'm asking your permission, but I'm just giving you the heads up so you know how to govern yourself accordingly. That's kind of what I feel like is at play here. Plus, it seems like there's some lingering suspicion from Monique that Candiace is maybe not exactly on the same page with her in their friendship, okay? Karen's take on this is that, is that Ashley and Candiace should both apologize and that they should work it out privately. Let me ask you guys this question. Do you agree with Karen that they need to work it out privately? I just want to ask you guys that. Let me know in the chatterization. Or do you think it needs to be addressed publicly because it was public disrespect? Okay. Now, let's get into the hot mic moment, okay? Now, the hot mic moment to me, I was like, why did they put this here? And I'm going to read to you verbatim what was said, okay? This is what was said during the hot mic moment. Monique says, I knew you were going to be mad at me. Candiace says, no, don't talk to me. No, we are not friends. Back the F up. Get off me. Monique says, no, no, no. And then they say laughing. Monique says, I had to. Candiace says, no, you did not. Monique says, I had to. Candiace says, you could have come and talked to me at the party and been like, Trick, why did you invite this hoe? Okay. Monique says, no, we're going to talk about this off camera. Now, if you guys remember in the previous episode, when Candiace mentioned the whole Sheree thing and not knowing that they were still in such a bad place, Monique had already said, we're going to talk about this later. I'm going to talk to you about this later, right? So I had to wonder to myself what this hot mic moment was trying to prove. And I want to know, did you guys understand this hot mic moment? Because I really didn't. So what I wanted to do was do some investigating, right? So I had to head on over to Monique Samuels' Instagram page to determine if she had said anything about this whole incident. And luckily she had, okay? So we're going to look at and listen to what Monique had to say when she spoke on that hot mic moment right here.
Go start from the back and type, what up, what up? Hi. How are you? Good, how are you? I'm good. I'm loving the PJs. Thank you. Only you don't actually buy pajamas. That's only you. Oh my. Yeah. I'm happy we can finally talk. Oh my God. Of our conversations. I love it. The Monique and Porsha fan page. So make sure y'all follow. I did just have one question, because or else I'll just ask you. What did you think about the audio that they played to make it seem like it was something? I was like, oh, okay, this is the best that they have to try to make me look two-faced. But in actuality, the audio proved nothing, because all I said to her was, I was not going to tell her what I had to tell her before we started that dinner, because she didn't give me that. So I said, I had to. And she was pissed, because at the end of the day, since she's been on this show, she's used to me playing by her rules. I'm always blamed for other things that's going down. And she gets to run her mouth and do things how she wants. And she gets to get the heads up on everything. And at that moment, when I found out about the whole Sheree situation, which it never once dawned on me that she invited her. Like, that's how much faith I had in her. It never once dawned on me. I thought she came with the bandits. So when I found that out, I was like, dang, she didn't give me a heads up when we just talked about, like, literally a few days prior, that we're going to look out for each other, on and off camera. We got each other's back. And then that's what you do. It was our first all cast. And that's what you did to me. So I was like, you know what? I ain't giving you no heads up. So when we left, by the time we left, everything was cool. So when I was laughing, it was because we had been drinking. And I was also laughing because I was like, I had to. So she was like, and she's like, nah, F that, this, that, and the other. And I was just like, well, whatever. I said, we'll talk off camera. But we never talked after that. Jeez. I'm just going to say, let me hurry up and get it out, because I don't want your supporters to drag me. But I really feel like the editing this season, I can see it's almost like how Porsha was edited in Atlanta as the quote unquote villain for a while. Right. It's so cringy watching. It's just like, this is not who you are. But you know, at the end of the day, it's supposed to be entertaining. And the thing I love about the viewers, anybody who watches Housewives, they can see through the BS. Like, you can see the whole plot. You can see how they're pinning things and all of that. So like when I watch it, it's not even bothering me. I'm just like, all right, whatever. On to the next. That's the best you got. Whatever. On to the next thing. But yeah, that audio just had me laughing, because I was just like, what was that supposed to do? Right. It was really random. And it didn't prove anything. It didn't make me look any different than who I am, because I literally said in audio, I had to. It's not like I said, oh my God, yeah, my bad. I shouldn't have said that at the table. And girl, we friends, and no, I said I had to. Right. Point blank. I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here, because I see the comments. But I want to thank you for always being genuine with me and just being real. Like, I really enjoy when we talk and you showing love. So I really do appreciate it. Yes, no problem at all. I appreciate you. Your page is awesome, and I definitely appreciate it. Thank you. I'll talk to you later. All right, babe.
So does that give you guys a better idea about maybe what that audio was supposed to be for? I'm still a little bit confused about why they inserted into the show. It didn't really seem to advance the storyline in any real way, other than to show that, well, my take on this situation is that at this point in time, Monique and Candiace are both at a point where they don't trust each other. But I also think that that's also from some bit of manipulation from Gizelle as well. Manipulation in terms of, I feel like, you know, there's a slight bit of Gizelle playing the sort of queen bee role and sort of influencing conversations behind the scenes and telling one person one thing and another person the other, okay? And then secretly also pushing forward this whole notion that, you know, Monique had this illicit affair that Charisse has somehow told her, because even in that, she throws Charisse under the bus. So to me, that's just my take on this. But anyway, let's get back to the situation at hand, and let's get back into discussing the episode, okay? So the next thing we see is Ashley preparing for the sip and see, okay? She's out shopping with Michael. And essentially what's going on here is they're talking about the sip and see. And it seems to me as though Michael is in a rush to get out of the scene. And she seems to blame that on the fact that they're not having a lot of intimacy. Let me ask you guys in the chatterization, did you guys get the feeling that Michael that she was trying to cover up for the reason that Michael didn't want to be in the scene with her at that moment? Did it seem weird to you? I don't know. Just let me know in the good conversation what you guys think about this whole situation. Did that just seem a little bit odd? Let me know. Anyway, we get to Gizelle's house, okay? Gizelle is there with the crew who is rebuilding her home, okay? And then Robin comes over to talk about Jamal and Gizelle. She talks about how humbling it was, for him to have to try to get this new church in Atlanta and how that made her see him in a completely different light, okay? But for some odd reason, when he's coming to town, okay, she won't let him stay in the house with her, with the kids, because she don't want the kids to be confused. In my mind, I'm like, well, if that's daddy, okay, and that's mama, and they in the same house, what difference does it make? But maybe that's just me because I don't have kids, okay? Was that weird to y'all? I just kind of wanted to know what y'all thought about that. I got more to say about this situation in just a second, so don't go nowhere because we're gonna chop it up about Jamal and Gizelle in just 1 second. Now we get to see Wendy at home for the first time with her family. I personally enjoyed this scene because for me, it was nice to know more about Wendy's background. I am here for anybody who is really into education, and I'm really here to learn more about, the Igbo tribe as well as her upbringing and her mom. I was really here for her mom for some reason. I don't know why. Don't get me started. But I was just like, I'm really here for Wendy's mom. Anyway, then we get to a dinner recap. Okay, so Kris and Candiace are out shopping for Chris's kids. Okay, and then Candiace is going to pick up something for Ashley's baby shower. Her sip and see. All right. And so she is talking about how she basically does not trust Monique anymore at this point. And she is shocked that there was still an issue with Sharice and Monique. Okay. I guess I find it hard to believe because she knew that there was a plotation involved going around with Sharice and Gizelle trying to plot on Monique. So I'm still clueless as to why she's pretending that that's not happening or that it's not, Oh, thank you. I'm still confused as to why she's pretending that she doesn't know that, or maybe she just is acting like that because she knows that they're not going to talk about it on the show, or she thinks that it's not being talked about on the show. Because remember, at this point in time, I don't know that she knows that Gizelle has already outed to everybody that in her confessionals that, hey, this is the affair. Okay. Anyway, the scene that I'm really most interested in is Karen and her feud with T'Challa, okay? Because Karen is not feeling this burr on Monique's shoulder. She is not here for it at all. She doesn't understand it. She don't want no parts of it. As you guys can see right here, she is hugged up on Monique on the other side, okay? Monique is still upset at Candiace for not giving her a heads up, and she feels like she's a very good friend to Candiace. Conversely, Candiace feels like Monique is not a good friend to her. Now, in this good chatterization, let me know who the real bad friend is. Is the real bad friend Candiace or is the real bad friend Monique? Let me know in the comment section down below. Okay. Let's talk about Jamal and Gizelle on the boat. Okay. So I titled this, and I think I titled it the same on here. Yes, Gizelle, Jamal, and Grace. And let me tell you why I titled this section Jamal, Gizelle, and Grace. I'm not speaking about Grace, her child, but this is the scene where we learn that Jamal is gifting the three girls with a partnership in a new restaurant in Atlanta, Georgia, or in somewhere in Georgia, okay? The girls seem a little bit thrilled about it. Grace would have preferred a Nicki Minaj concert, but let me get into something right here. And the reason why I added Grace to this section is because I feel like the ladies have offered Gizelle grace in that none of them on camera, at least up to this point, has brought up any of the rumors I am sure that they are all privy to about Jamal Bryant in this. In conversely, the way that when you look at Gizelle and how she has brought up rumors about everybody's spouse, whether they were true or untrue, the amount of grace that these ladies have shown her up to this point with regards to getting back together with that Jamal Bryant is literally amazing to me, because honestly, a lot of them could have went in. I'm just going to go ahead and tell you guys that a lot of these ladies could go in on her relationship with this man for a lot of different reasons. Now, granted, these are rumors, but none of the ladies have mentioned the rumors. In fact, even as they ask her questions about this man, they are positive and supportive about it. So to me, I just feel like with the amount of grace that they're showing her, she does not show them the same amount of grace that they should. You know what I'm saying? It's not reciprocal. And I'm wondering, well, why is that? Somebody sent the super chat. Thank you so much. So to me, I'm like, I kind of want, and I hope at some point both Candiace and Monique can look back at this and sort of pinpoint a couple of things going on with that good Gizelle that may help both of them open their eyes. And granted, I'm watching as a viewer, so who knows that there could be so much more going on behind the scenes. But I'm just wondering, did any of you guys notice that as well? Because I was just like, wow, like this is really interesting. Nobody's talking about this, especially with him having been dragged in the media just a few months ago. And I know it was more draggerization that was occurring last year. So to me, I just feel like it makes me look at her a little bit differently each and every episode. I just have to say that. We get to Ashley's party. I call that the turning point. Okay. She has some rules that she has about nobody kissing on the kids or whatever. All the ladies arrive. Monique feels like Candiace is not accountable for her actions. So in her mind, she is done with Candiace as a friend and is just going to be quartered to her as a castmate. I feel like something has happened at this point behind the scenes to let Monique know that she should only view Candiace as just a castmate. Now, this is what I believe happened. Based on what Monique has said and based on what Candiace has said, it seems to me like they probably had an agreement that they will protect each other moving forward in their friendship. Like, okay, I'm gonna have your back, you have my back. We hear about this all the time with regards to Housewives. And then somehow or another, it always seems to fall apart. It always seems to fall apart. And it's usually as a result of somebody else coming into the situation and manipulating things behind the scenes so that to the two people in question can no longer have that good relationship. But that's just what I think, okay? We get a moment between Wendy and Karen. Now, this seems to be the slow build of the beef that we're finally gonna like get to see the ball rolling on, because they have an interaction and Wendy is still confused as to why Karen says that she doesn't know her, but the camera crew and the editing happens to show us another clip of Karen saying that she just has never been impressed by that good Wendy Osaf, Dr. Wendy Osaf, okay? So then guess what? Guess what, y'all? In walks Sheree. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, so here's the thing that we know about Sheree coming onto the scene. One, as we're viewing this, we all know that Sheree is allegedly the one who is putting the rumors around town to all the cast members, right? This is according to Gizelle, who is throwing everybody under the bus, okay? And then rolling over them back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. The interesting thing about this is that we also see that unlike Candiace, Ashley calls Monique in advance to give her the heads up, okay? She calls her in advance to give her the heads up that Sheree is coming. Here's the thing. Monique is cool with it because she knows that Ashley and Sheree were friends before she even came around. So that leads me to believe, and I want you guys to answer this question. That leads me to believe that Sheree is the one who told Ashley that Candiace was making a play to be friends with her after her and Monique fell out. You guys remember that scene where Ashley has told Gizelle that Candiace was making a play to be friendly with Charisse, who else would have told Ashley that if it was not Charisse? Do you guys get do you follow that logic? I mean, do you kind of understand what I'm thinking or follow how I'm thinking about this? I'm just trying to put the pieces together as they're rolling out. Okay. Now, the ladies decide, well, Ashley decides to start a conversation with that good Candiace as baby Dean is hanging and dangling from her bosom, getting fed. Okay. She basically says that Candiace does not take ownership of her actions. Let me ask you guys this question in the chatterization. Please give me a comment down below in the chat. Let me know, do you think that Candiace ever holds herself accountable or really owns her actions? Yes or a no? Give me a yes or no in the good chatterization if you feel like Ashley was correct in this assessment. I want to know what you guys think. Okay. And this leads to Monique versus Candiace round 2. Okay. They get into it. They have a little bit of a back and forth. And the next thing you know, insert Wendy Osaf. Okay. Wendy Osaf inserts herself into the situation and says, if Candiace doesn't consider everyone her friend, maybe that's why she doesn't want to talk in front of everybody. To which Monique rolls her eyes into the back of her head and out of the eye sockets, okay? And she then says, child, Monique is not your friend in her confessional, okay? Monique tells Wendy to tread lightly on being loyal to Candiace because that's what she did. And they have another tense moment. Monique feels like she has not ridiculed Candiace the way that the other ladies have and made fun of her house and her mom and all that good stuff, the way that Gizelle and Robin and all of them have, and she's had her back. Candiace feels like Monique flip-flops, and that since Gizelle and Monique are cool, that she needs Candiace to fight with. This sends Gizelle and Robin into laughter, and then Candiace has had enough, and then she bounces, okay? This whole scene was interesting to me because I feel like the devil is in the details, okay? I feel like Monique seems to be expecting something from Candiace that Candiace can't give her at this point. She is expecting the type of loyalty that Ashley is now showing her from Candiace, but Candiace is not really there in terms of showing that type of loyalty. And that's just, to me, like, it sounds like to me, that's just how friendships are different with everybody. You know what I'm saying? I have some friends that would probably tell me, hey, your worst enemy is going to be at this event. I'm just letting you know, dog, so you got a heads up. But some friends will not tell me that information. And I just got to respect that they're going to feel like they move how they move. And my expectation level is different. So I feel like that's kind of what's happening here, is that there is a slight differentiation on what each other expects from each other as a friend. And it feels like at this point, Monique has just had enough and she is ready to bounce. Okay. Now here is where the stuff hits the fan. And this is kind of where I'm just kind of like, it makes Gizelle look really bad because she starts, well, before she even gets to the part where she's about to try to bring up this rumor again, she assesses that Candiace is like a 30-year-old, but she's really a 14-year-old. Okay. She basically says that what everybody else has been saying, that Candiace cannot, own what she does. She doesn't take accountability, and then she runs. Okay. But interestingly enough, Karen is staying out of this whole drama. She's staying out of the drama. Even when Gizelle tries to bring up Monique and Charisse having a conversation and why they're not cool and why they're not talking and all this good stuff, it's almost like, girl, you are trying your hardest to bring up these cheating allegations and these rumors about a baby, that you are willing to throw Charisse under the bus to try to get her to say exactly what you don't want to say in the scene. So when you didn't get it in the scene, it seems like what you did was you went back into the confessional to give what Sharice never gave in that scene, okay? But Monique was not playing into that, and she decided that she was going to bounce. Now, to me, I'm going to go ahead and be honest with you guys. I don't know that I would have handled the situation the same way, and I understand that Monique was probably not trying to give her any shine in that moment. I'm not going to give you camera time when you're not being paid, you're not even mic'd up. Why would I talk to you at this point? And I don't even like you. So for me, I'm gonna let you know, I would have handled it differently. I would have just point blank told her, girl, you know exactly why I'm not talking to you, and you keep trying to do this. And I'm gonna need you to stop, because it's not gonna end well for you if you keep going, okay? And then I would have bounced, okay? I would have bounced in. And actually, I probably wouldn't have even bounced. I would have got myself another drink or some shots or something like that, because ultimately, listen, the camera either would have got that or they wouldn't have gotten it. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't have left. That's just me. But I get why she did in the world of television, because it's like, okay, if you're trying to get a moment from me, I'm not going to give you that moment, but I'm going to leave. But what happens when you leave is they end up creating a narrative around you leaving, okay? And they end up trying to make you look a certain type of way because you're not there to defend yourself. And then that person can say whatever it is that they want to say. Now, I want to show y'all something, okay? And this is what I mean by I kind of feel like Gizelle is sort of the master manipulator here. And we talked about it before, but I do want to share something with y'all that our good friends over at Tea of the Potomac happened to capture last night with regards to the ladies being on Instagram and Twitter and all that good stuff, you know, when the episode is on. Candiace Dillard basically says, I don't know how hard I can laugh watching Monique think that Gizelle is her friend. This high five, the kiki, it's sending me all the way out. And what I happen to notice is someone else said this in the comments. We feel the same way when you think that Gizelle is yours too, okay? So what it sounds like is that people are starting to recognize that Gizelle, it seems like everybody kind of wants to be on good terms with Gizelle because they don't want no problems with her, right? But the fact of the matter is Gizelle is still causing problems with these ladies, regardless of whether or not they want the problems or not. Bottom line. Okay. So after Candiace leaves the scene, okay, she gets stopped by Ashley. Ashley has a conversation with her. And I'm going to be honest with y'all. At the moment, I don't know how I feel about Ashley sort of being in the midst of the friendship between Candiace and Monique. What do you guys think about Ashley in this whole situation? I almost feel like Ashley is teetering the line of being somewhat manipulator and somewhat of a friend to both of the ladies, right? Because when she brings up the stuff about Candiace, while everybody is sitting there, she says that everybody is talking about you behind your back. Then she goes, and when she talks to Candiace outside, she says, well, do you think that your friendship with Monique is genuine? I guess I just didn't see that as someone who was trying to get two ladies to reconcile, okay? Now, the other thing that I wanted to point out to you guys is this. Our friends at Tea of the Potomac happened to capture this moment as well. Monique says she's mad I didn't tell her that I was mad about Sharice off camera prior to the dinner. At the point you stop giving me a heads up prior to cameras, I will follow your lead. Why am I giving her that courtesy when she disregarded me? WTF. So at this point, it sounds like for Monique, the gloves are off and she's not playing by Candiace's rules anymore. So now you have two people who are just upset and they done and they finished. And we're going to have to see how this continues to play out as the season goes. But I don't know. For me personally, guys, I was definitely kind of giving Ashley a little bit of a side eye, you know, for that moment at her sipping seat. I mean, that's just it personally. And I also kind of give her a side eye for even inviting Sharice in the first place. Here's the thing. I get it. You know, it's her sipping seat. She can do what she wants. But the fact of the matter is, this woman is not even on the show anymore, okay? I could see if she was being brought in as a friend of, and she was, you know, being paid to be there or something. But according to all the ladies, she's not being paid to be there. So for me, it's like, why is she even invited onto the scene when we all know that, you know, ain't nobody really checking for her like that except for Robin and Gizelle. That's no disrespect to Sharice, but I'm just saying, I mean, she's a non-factor in this whole situation because she's not even cast on the show at this point. And it seems as though to us, she was only brought around, okay, to stir up the drama with Monique and these alleged rumors. That's it. That's it. So that's basically last night's episode to me. I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. If you guys could rate this episode on a scale of 1 to 10, please write it in the comment section or in the chatterization below. Just give me on a scale of 1 to 10 what you guys thought about the episode. I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10 because I felt like while there were things that were sort of there to advance the plot, there was also a lot of, actually I'm going to give it 7.5, honestly, because I felt like there was a lot of confusing stuff that happened in the episode as well that kind of, I felt like convolute the story and kind of left me with a, where are we at? Now, Peggy Clark gave it a 10, Althea gave it a 7, Brianna gave it a 7, Rain gave it a 7. I see a lot of 7s. We all on the same page. A lot of 7s. Intuition 7.5. Okay. So we all kind of on the same page with the 7. You know, 7.5. Valeria gave it an 8. Yeah, we all literally on that same like. Boss Key even gave it a 5. Okay. Where was that at? I missed it. So. I don't know, guys. It'll be interesting to see how next week plays out. I am hearing that episodes 5 and 6 really get intense. I'm assuming that's where we're going to get the ladies going on their first cast trip of the season, from what I'm hearing. So we'll just have to wait and see how that whole situation sort of pans out. Just a note, guys, as a reminder, tonight at 8 p.m., All About the Tea is hosting a virtual emergency town hall meeting that I'll be taking part of. We're going to be discussing a lot of things that are going on with Real Housewives of Potomac. So please follow All About the Tea on YouTube. If I have a link for it, if I can find a link for it, I'll put it in the description below. But otherwise, at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, that's when we'll be going live to discuss and break down all of the exciting and crazy and wild and conflicting and controversial stuff that's going on with Real Housewives of Potomac. Listen, if you haven't subscribed, hit that notification button down below. I love doing these live reviews with you guys because it's very interactive. And to me, that's the most rewarding part of what it is that I do. Make sure you guys are following me on Facebook because you might be preferring to watch this on Facebook. And then join the texting community just so I can send you a quick little message to let you know when I'm going live. Not going to take up a lot of space on your phone or in your text thread, but I will be able to let you know exactly when we are dropping new content. So you could either watch it then and tune in and join in on the conversation, or you guys can just watch it later at your leisure. With that being said, I just want to say I love you guys. Thank you guys for sticking through with this entire review. We had a lot to cover and a lot to discuss about the episode. I try my hardest to bring it in as much additional information and, you know, texts and tweets and stuff like that as I can to sort of give you guys an idea of where the cast members are with their statements and with their own, you know, perceptions of what's happening. And I will have to tell you guys, so far this season of Real Housewives of Potomac is not disappointing me at all. It has given me every single thing that I need. And I kind of feel like it's almost like a mystery that we're watching unfold. And I think to me, that's what makes for an amazing season of a reality television show. Now, with that being said, guys, I'm going to take a break for lunch. I think I'm going to be doing something with All About the Tea also at 3 p.m. So stay tuned for that. I have some more news that I might be able to get out today as well. But I just need to take a quick lunch break and see what I can do. Otherwise, guys, stay masked up. Y'all get y'all vote on, and I will see you guys in the next video.